This video discusses one quick way to reduce your Windows boot time. When you first get a computer, it's pretty much running as optimal as it's ever going to be because the electronics are new and it's sort of built for everything that's going on in the tech world. Additionally, it has the least amount of programs it's probably ever going to have because as we use something, we decide that there are other programs we want to have, there's other needs we have, we change jobs, whatever may happen, there's lots of different things that occur that cause you to use new software. So there's one thing you can do without having to replace hardware or upgrade hardware that can help you reduce the Windows boot time. Additionally, I will say quickly, then this is also in the blog, if you limit the amount of applications and programs you install, this will have a big impact. And also if you remove programs that you're no longer using, that's a key thing that people often forget. Programs they no longer use and they kind of get orphaned on their system and they just sort of take up space. But if you read the blog, you'll see I sort of reference this towards carrying a book. It's really easy to carry a single book, but if you stack up 15 or 20 on your arms, eventually you're going to slow down or you're going to lose them. So a computer is going to operate the same way. The more programs you throw at it, the slower eventually it's going to be when you're booting up because it's trying to initialize all these different programs and processes at the same time. So I'm going to close that. And so what you would do to be able to change this is go to the startup settings in Windows and change which programs are able to start up right when you first boot your computer. So what happens is more and more programs that you install, the more services that are running and processes that are running when you first turn on your computer. So these are stored in what's called startup. And what that means is there's a lot of programs that are going to have startup functions that are checking for updates to their software. They're checking to see if you're going to be using it. And so they're kind of sitting in the background running, waiting to be called upon. But all of those things take up resources. Every little piece takes up just a little bit more resources. And when you add those up, 10, 20, 50, just like the books, it becomes overwhelming to the system. So this can delay a boot up for any device, any Windows device. And over time, that gets frustrating because you're just trying to get to work, do what you need to do. And you're like, why is this taking 3 minutes to boot? Which it absolutely shouldn't. So the place you're going to want to go is apps. And then on the apps page, apps and features, if you click on this startup tab over here in the left menu, these are all the things that have the ability or were at one point running upon startup. So some of these I've already disabled, but as you go down the list, you can look at every single thing and look at the name of the software. And also the best part is it's going to tell you whether the impact is high or low or medium. So you can go about this in many ways. You can look for things that you're maybe not using anymore or that you don't think it needs to be running, or you can go by what's the impact. Like I need to change this like right now. I need it to slow down, not have so many things running so that my computer boots faster because I need to get to work. So what you do is you just start turning things off. So you would just disable as many things as you want to disable, then close this, and keep in mind this is startup apps. That means if you turn something off, it's already running because you've already booted your computer. So you're going to need to reboot your computer for these changes to take effect. Most of the time, this won't affect any of the software you're actually running, any of these actual programs. You shouldn't get like errors like, oh, I can't use this or whatever. If you do, just come back, go to settings, apps and features, and then startup and re-enable it. Just if you want, you can start with one thing and see if you have any negative impacts. You shouldn't. I turned off several things in here. I didn't have any issues. But if you do, just know you can come back in here at any time, re-enable that, and you're back in business. And that's one quick way you can get your Windows device to boot up much faster.